The Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act is the next topic which we are going to discuss. This has been divided in our course in two parts, the Hindu Adoption Law and the Hindu Maintenance Law. The first part we are going to discuss is with reference to Hindu adoption. The act was enacted in 1956. It applies to all Hindus, and the concept of Hinduism, which we have seen, is the same for this law too. This act, because it is divided in two parts, has got two categories of definitions. As and when the question arises, we will discuss the definitions. The first part which we are going to discuss in this act is with reference to what is adoption and basically why there is a requirement of adoption. So, according to the ancient law, adoption was a necessary part where you needed to have a son to give you spiritual as well as temporal benefits. This concept required only a son to be adopted, but later on, with the new law, the daughters can also be adopted in Hindu law. So, there is basically only one requirement, and that is a person who is not having a son can adopt a son, and who is not having a daughter can adopt a daughter. We will go into the further details as we move further. So, according to Section 5 of this Act, no other way or means of adoption is allowed unless it is accepted or if it is in contravention with this act, it will not be accepted as a valid adoption. What are the requisites of a valid adoption? So, no adoption shall be valid unless the person adopting has the capacity and also the right to take in adoption. The person giving in adoption has the capacity to do so, that is, to give in adoption. And thirdly, the person adopted is capable of being taken in adoption. Lastly, the adoption is made in compliance with other conditions mentioned in this chapter. So, there are four parts in which we are going to discuss the Hindu adoption law. The first three provisions are going to be dealt with by who can adopt, who can be adopted, as in the parties. The second is going to be the provisions relating to adoption, as in the procedure, if any, is going to be discussed. And last part will be any additional provisions which are there with reference to adoption and the effect of adoption. Thank you, friends.